Run it back.
Welcome to episode 10, Run It Back Podcast. What up with you guys? Keith, Kev?
Just chilling, man.
Wagwan, we're back.
Can't believe we did 10 episodes.
We still here. Holy.
Still here. Ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, eh?
Yes, sir. Bunch of shit to get through. Where to start first? Let's get into the music that dropped this week. Starting off with Gucci. Evil Genius. Guwap. He claims he was the one to start trap music, but T.I. says otherwise.
I don't think he started trap music, but he's definitely a huge influencer, and he gave birth to a lot of the Atlanta trap scene, especially what we know today as Atlanta trap.
Yeah, T.I. was just arguing that he was the one who put the two words together. Like, the word trap and the word music were never put together before him. So that's why he claims that he was the one who to start trap music. But that's
that
not
I would agree with.
Yeah, but that's not on the docket. Let's talk about his project.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I don't know. This album to me was sort of okay. I wasn't really fucking with it. There's obviously that one song, Solitaire, that was the banger, that one he released earlier. And then my favorite song would have to be On God. I really like that song a lot. That shit was fire. To me, this album was sort of like okay throughout. I wasn't really feeling it. Yo, what is Kevin Gates saying in I'm Not Going?
What did he say?
Bro, he was talking some nonsense. I didn't understand what that man was trying to say. Luca Brasi, where you at?
Yeah, what do you mean? I think that song was okay.
No, I didn't fuck with that. The On God was my favorite by far. I think that's like the only favorite song of mine here, other than Solitaire.
Let me pull up the track list, see what you're talking about. The one with 21 Savage was good. The one with Kevin Gates was good too, man. I don't know what you're talking about. And also the last song, Kept Back, with Lil Pump, surprised me too, because I thought that song was going to be trash. But 18-song album, I agree with you, Keith. It was okay. Certain songs definitely fire. Songs that you can bump to while you're playing ball or working out at the gym. But as an overall project, nothing exceptional for me.
I'm inclined to agree. I feel like Gucci's kind of mastered this genre, so it's pretty consistent with what you expect from him. And on that note, there are a lot of bangers, right? And you've already listed a good chunk of them. So this is definitely something I'm going to bump in the gym. As far as a body of work goes, it's not that impressive. I do enjoy it, though. I would, rating-wise, I'd say 3 out of 5.
Or keep, repeat, or delete?
Keep. Because I'm still thinking about it, so keep.
I would say keep for me as well, but I'd give it a 2.5.
What about you, Keith?
Yeah, this one for me, I'm not keeping it. I'm deleting it.
Did you listen to Gucci before, or was this the first one?
I think I've listened to something of his older stuff, but I can barely remember it.
Yeah.
Very, because it was not something, hey, I'm not going back to listening to it. Are you actually going to go back and listen to this?
In the gym?
Hey, I said keep, man. I didn't say repeat.
There's a lot of shit you can listen to when you're going to the gym. And if you're taking songs here and there and putting it onto a playlist, I can understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you're playing to this whole album, I highly doubt it.
No, that's the thing. Like, you keep the album so you can go back to certain songs that you like. You don't have to listen to the whole project, right? From top to bottom or whatever.
I'm the type that doesn't really make playlists, though, when I'm at the gym. I just pull up an album and I play the thing and let it run. And if I get tired, I just switch songs.
This year, I started making playlists for everything. For, like, gym, R&B. I even have, like, an instrumental playlist. I have, like, an old school playlist. Before, I didn't do that. But I felt like it makes it easier. There are certain songs that you like from various different projects, and it makes it easier for you to just put them all into a playlist, right?
Yeah, just swinging that, whatever song it is, into your playlist, whether it's jam, whether you're in one of your moods, whatever. Hey man, I like when I get in my moods, I like that playlist.
Because like, think about it. If you're listening to an album and you go to listen to a specific song, then you have to change albums, go to the song that you like, you know? So it just makes it a little more convenient when you put all the tracks that you like into a playlist. Speaking about playlists, shameless plug. Follow our playlist, Run It Back, Apple Music and Spotify.
There you go. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Spotify, Apple Music.
Back to the topic at hand.
2 out of 5 delete. 2 out of 5 delete.
2 out of 5 delete.
Delete.
I can understand why you say that.
I think I'm gonna go with Dan here. Actually, I'm gonna move mine to a 2.5. It's still a keep though, because I'm still kind of digesting it.
Moving on. Rest in peace, XXX. His management and his team dropped his album called Skins.
1 minute. Oh, I love that shit. That shit's a headbanger, bro.
Oh my god!
I
know you come from the
X can sing. He can.
I know
yell,
you come from that rock background.
Oh my god, that shit is fire. Kanye had a nice verse on that too.
He had a sick verse.
That's a sick ass verse.
Yo, when I listened to that song, I was not expecting it to turn that way.
I didn't expect that shit.
I was like, oh shit, Kanye is on some shit. And then the song switched. I was like, oh my god.
No, that was fire.
It's not that surprising that Kanye is on that type of song. And when you think about it, he made Black Skinhead, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
Top 3?
What top 3?
No. You
going back to that?
What's top 3? I'm confused. Yeezus. Kanye's top 3?
He's talking about
Yeezus? Oh my god.
Let's leave
Don't send true Kanye fans after us.
Hey man.
AKA after you.
That's like Black Skinhead is in every movie trailer. Just saying that.
Back to the album. Other than the 2 rock songs, I enjoyed everything else. Because I'm not a huge rock fan. So I didn't really enjoy those 2 songs. But everything else was super fire. Like melodically, now I can see like why a lot of people appreciated this guy and fucked with him. Mm-hmm. And now after listening to this album, I have a true appreciation of what he had to offer.
But then for me, like, I wasn't listening to X until, he passed away.
Me neither.
And I feel like,
I only knew that one song before.
I feel like a lot of people had that same.
That's probably the one everyone did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and bro, after he passed away, I started listening to his album. What's the one with the question mark? What's that called?
I'll pull it up.
I forgot what it's called, but bro, I was bumping that Moonlight, all those tracks. I was bumping to that whole album for that whole week. That was like the only album I was listening to, and lyrically, that guy had something. He was talented.
The title is a question mark.
Okay, there you go. But no, that was a great project, and it, even though his antics and whatever he did on the side was kind of fucked up, when it comes to the music and his ability to make music as an artist, it was kind of amazing just to listen to that kid.
So I gotta say something. This wasn't planned for me to talk about, right? So I talked about 6ix9ine and even X before, and how I don't really fuck with his antics and the stuff like outside of the music takes away from the music for me personally. Mm-hmm. But now hearing you speak, one of the guys that went through this was Chris Brown, right? He had the whole domestic violence or assault shit that happened with Rihanna. But for me, with him, I was always able to separate that. I was able to put that aside and take the music as his music. So I feel like a lot of these guys deserve the same thing, and that goes for me because I didn't do that with these guys now too.
I feel like that's even past music. I feel as if, when something happens, people can't just look at the fact that this person can create something amazing and beautiful, but they look at what they did in the past and what affected other people in the process.
Yo, I know people to this day, people hold that against Chris Brown. They're like, yo, how can you listen to someone who did that to Rihanna, right? But you got to be able to separate it. Let the music speak for itself.
Kevin, what do you have to say on this topic?
Let the music speak for itself, and then hold that to him as a person. So you might not like someone as a person, but you might enjoy their music, which goes to what's happening with Kanye now. People don't really like what Kanye stands for, but a lot of people fuck with his music, right?
They're gonna go buy his album regardless,
yeah, exactly.
Right? And one of the guys we talk about later, Locksmith, he even addresses that, right?
Yep.
But back to this. I mean, with X and 6ix9ine, like you said, right? It's hard to separate his antics from his music, but I think I'm in agreement here. You should be able to separate the two. You should be able to compartmentalize, because his art is not necessarily reflective. Just because you enjoy his art doesn't mean you have to co-sign his actions, right? And that being said, this is a pretty good project. I'm not really a huge X fan, but I definitely know where his appeal lies. I think there was a good variety, and as far as the trend towards blending of emo rock with rap, X is really good at executing that. The two rock songs that Dan didn't like, I did like. It kind of reminded me of sort of the Linkin Park days with Chester Bennington with the screaming.
Yeah.
And that
To this day.
that's hard to execute right.
To this day.
You know who fucked it up? I think The Weeknd fucked it up with False Alarm, trying to do that weird rock thing. You know that song, right?
I know that song.
Where did it go?
Yeah, I know.
I'm not even gonna try and attempt it.
I'm going to. Oh, I'd die for Kevin to do that shit.
But that's a case of someone trying and like it coming off weird. Here it's natural. Like you can totally see X doing it, and the end product is pretty good. And then that interlude is really nice. That difference interlude. It was playing in the back earlier for those of you listening.
That guy can sing, man.
No,
He
his
can
melodies were super fire. Even though you can't really hear the words, so
It's about the emotion and energy.
it was
though. That's what he was always good at.
Yeah, the sonics of the whole album, like it was amazing. I can't even.
It's well put together. The production it's a step in the right direction because it's not the cookie cutter beats that you hear in, say, like a Gucci album or other mainstream stuff, right? I mean, there's a time and place for that, but at least with X, he's always trying something different, and that's something I really appreciate in this day and age. Other than that, he can kind of spit. Like there's definitely moments there where and he's also telling his story too, right? It's not some generic topics, which we'll probably get into in some of these other albums. I feel like is a problem in hip hop and has been for many decades. So as far as the project goes,
As far as the project goes, for me, it's a keep and it's a 3 out of 5.
I think I would have to agree with you. 3 out of 5 and a keep.
I think we have consensus here. 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Keep. It's a pretty solid project.
Shout out to X. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, boy.
Killed before his prime, man.
Yeah. It's fucked up. Let's see. Do we want to talk about Domogenesis? If that's how you say his name.
We can keep it brief.
Any relation to Cryogenesis?
Yo, I actually thought about that.
Yo, I actually Googled that, but I don't think they do.
No, because Damo's from Odd Future.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
How do you guys listen to this and not know that?
Yo, you
I don't
know
know shit about music, bro.
Do you know who Cause is, Kev, from
Yeah,
Dreamville?
of course.
He has a feature on this
I see
EP,
it. Yeah.
but I think overall he sounded like Cause a little bit. That's what he reminded me of. I don't know why, but it was okay. I didn't know anything about this guy. This was the first EP I listened to, and there were certain songs that I was pretty impressed. So
I was pretty impressed as well. I was a big fan of Odd Future, especially back in the day, you know, early 2010, or just early YouTube days. And they were just being kids then, you know, doing dumb videos and just taking music seriously. But with this was a pretty big shock to me because maybe I just overlooked him, but I didn't really know Damo could spit like this. So I was pretty surprised. And then he has some pretty heavy hitters on this features, IDK, Cause, right? So that means he's hanging with the right crowds, right? These are all people who are going to try and bar you to death. And I think he executes that well. Beat selection is good. And it's a nice variety. It's not too cookie cutter in terms of the beat selection. And he has nice punchlines. He's really good with the internal rhymes. So if you guys are going through this, it's only 15 minutes of your time. I would recommend it. For me, it's a 3.5 and a repeat.
Yo, these EPs are blessed, man. Now I really have to salute Kanye for doing that 7-song album, and I get to appreciate it more.
He is not the innovator of this
No,
format.
he's not.
You are wrong.
He's not the innovator.
Yeah.
But now, like, we talk about the amount of music that comes out. Like, these EPs, 6, 7, 8-song EPs make it so much easier for you to get through.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier for you to kind of repeat them.
Yeah.
Right? 6 songs, it's so easy.
17 minutes?
Yeah, it's easy.
Even going on to the next
having
one.
to listen to an 18 to 20 song album, like, it just seems like you have to sit through so much music. And if you don't enjoy it, and it just makes it even more difficult for you to listen to, you know?
I know it's a huge function of the streaming era where they pump as many songs in. It's the Migos model, right? But I think because it's so prevalent, we're at a point now when we're trying to evaluate a body of work. Less is more. If you're able to pack your message into a smaller package, you tend to have better results. It's more focused, and it lets you pick and choose the best stuff, and you cut the fat, right?
Yeah, I agree. So in terms of the album, I think I would have to agree with Kev again. 3 out of... Did you say 3.5?
I said 3.5.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would give it a 3 out of 5, and it's a repeat for me as well.
I listened to this quickly, and I sort of compared it to Tone Smith because I don't know why, because they're both 6 songs. Listen, wait.
They're so different.
Yeah, no, wait, stop. Because the way I look at it is when I look at Apple Music, I go through what's new and I add it on to my library. So this was right after the other, and they're both 6 songs. So I just went through it quick, and I like Tone Smith's more. This one I couldn't really get into. I wasn't really feeling it, and for me, it was a quick listen, and I just forgot about it. I didn't want to go back and listen to it. For me, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, and I deleted it.
Harsh critic. Usually I'm the harsh one.
I'm taking the spotlight now, boy.
No, you should go back and listen to it. I think you slipped.
No,
Something slipped.
Nah, screw it. I'm listening to Najee.
We'll talk about that after, but I do think that Damo's project was surprisingly good.
Yeah, it was. I had no idea who he was. Same thing as you. Going through the recently released project, saw it, added it, and then when I listened, I was surprised.
And coming from my background, I knew who Damo was, so when Dan told me to listen, I'm like, man, I don't want to listen to this guy. But I was surprised. Just he had some bars on there, and he structures his rhymes really well, and he has a lot of multi-rhymes too.
Definitely has sick. Bars. Like his lyrics and his bars were on point, which isn't something I was expecting going in.
Definitely slept on Damo in this case.
I guess talk about Tone Smith since he brought him up. His project is called Good Company. Again, it's a 6-song EP. Oh, Tone Stith, not Smith. Sorry.
You don't even know the rapper? What are you talking about?
He's not a rapper, first of all. He's an R&B singer.
Oh,
this man didn't do his homework.
Yeah, I didn't do my homework. Hey, first of all, is he the best R&B rapper out there? Who brought that up?
We'll talk about that, but we all know it's Jacquees.
Oh, okay.
He's not the king of R&B. He needs to sit down. He needs to relax.
Who said John Legend said there was no actual king of R&B? He was talking about that on Twitter, I think.
R&B is not competitive. You know what? We'll come back to that. Tone Stiff. Dan, open it up.
So, his last project was something that my girl actually put me on. So that one was super fire, and it kind of got my attention. And then when I saw that he dropped another one, I was super excited to listen to it. And it was what I expected. Just super dope R&B. It's got that modern like R&B vibe to it. I enjoyed it. 6 songs. It was easy to get through. And it's like very easy to repeat it as well. So
yeah, I gave it a quick listen too, even though coming off of... I came off Gucci Mane's album and went straight to this, and it was good. My favorite song was Like Mike. Short and sweet. I liked it a lot.
So, it's tough for me because I think with R&B, I only like a very particular type. It's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is. In terms of this guy, I'd never heard him before, but I do like his vocal quality. He has a pretty good range, and he has some interesting melodies in there. The songwriting, and I feel like this is a problem in R&B in general. The songwriting, I feel, is kind of weak. Like, I know, Keith, you said you liked the Like Mike one, but I thought that was a dumbass hook and a dumbass comparison.
I liked it.
Michael Jackson. He beat it like Michael Jackson and all that shit. I was like, no, this is corny, man.
Hey, man.
But I think the saving grace is, one, it's a relatively short project. And because it's short, they were able to keep it cohesive. And then the second thing is the production was pretty solid, and because of that, he was able to work in some interesting melodies. I was a little worried about that because coming off of Rico Love, I was like, oh my god, I can't do any more R&B right now. But this was different enough, and he had enough variety to keep it going. So rating wise, I'd say it's average. It's 2.5, and I might come back and look at it, but honestly, I'd probably just delete it.
So his first one that I talked about, his first project is called Can We Talk? So I'd recommend you to check that one out as well. That one is a 11 song project, and it has pretty good songs on there. So go check it out. But in regards to ratings, I would give this one a 3 out of 5, and I'd keep it.
For me, this one is delete. It's not something I would actually go back and listen to. It's I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5 as well and delete.
Yo, you're being too generous to your deletes. How are you gonna give Gucci a 2.5 and keep it, and then give these mans a 2.5 and delete it?
Who said I kept Gucci? Read the fucking document, buddy.
Oh shit,
You deleted
brother.
it.
Oh shit, brother.
Shit, keep up, buddy.
Let's stay on R&B for a little bit. Rico Love.
Yeah.
Rico Love, man. He's an
Dan,
OG.
Open it up.
So if you listen to the album, you might think that he sounds like Usher here and there. You might think he sounds like Trey Songz a little bit, or some other R&B artist, and that's because Rico Love is more known for his songwriting. He's more known for that than putting out music himself. So that's why you might hear similarities between him and other artists, and that's because he's written for those artists. But overall, I thought the project was a little too long. 13 songs, and the songs weren't short either. So most of them were about 3-4 minutes. There's like a 5-minute song in there as well. It was good. There's definitely dope songs on there. Like, I like God Forgives, the second song. I like Paradise, Hyper, and there's also different vibes. There's like old 90s feeling R&B in there, but there's also like the modern trap sounding R&B in there as well. So there's a big variety. But overall, I enjoyed it.
What about you, Keith?
I gave it a quick listen, but I thought it was okay. Again, because for me, I listen album to album and I go here and there. I gave it a quick listen, and I wanted to go back. Actually, we'll get to it. I wanted to go back to Ali, which I liked a lot. But going back to this, I'll stay out of giving this an actual rating.
Okay. Where do I begin? This
beginning.
was really hard for me to get through. And I'm glad you brought up the fact that, Dan, that you brought up the fact that Rico wrote for Usher and Trey. Because I looked him up, and I've heard him in features before, but I didn't really know much about him. I looked him up, and I was pretty surprised by that because I'm pretty disappointed by the songwriting. I especially the second half, like, was it Whole Lot of Sex? Did you tell your boyfriend? And Sexual Professional? That was the shittiest writing I've ever heard.
Sexual Professional was pretty trash.
Dumbest writing ever, and it's like really basic shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, the guy can sing, but in this field, isn't that like the bare minimum?
Yeah.
So for me, I had a hard time getting through this, and like I'm sure he has better projects on Spotify. When this album ended, it jumped to some of his other songs, much better. This project as a whole, I really didn't like. It's gonna be a 1 and a delete for me.
I think, songwriting wise, when he collaborates with other artists, it tends to result in better music. So
Probably.
I would say maybe stick to that. But he's been in the game for a really long time.
And salute to him, right? Good.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he's good as a solo artist.
But yeah, I agree. I think he's a better songwriter and a collaborator when he works with other artists. But as a solo artist, he's not the greatest. So I would give it a 2 out of 5, and I'd delete it as well.
Okay, so 2 out of 5 and 1 out of 5.
And Keith is not going to rate this one.
Because he didn't do his homework.
Listen, guys. Okay.
No, I know Keith is not an R&B type of guy.
First of all, I don't listen to music as much as these guys do. And bro, I think
I know you like that rap shit and hip hop shit more than R&B though.
No, I do, because you guys put me on the R&B and I gave it a chance, and there are some good R&B artists out there. But hey, Maul said it on Joe Budden. That's the one Joe Budden episode that I was able to see. How do you get through all these fucking albums? And he mentioned it recently. Like, if you're talking about all these albums, you're all lying. Y'all didn't actually listen to the album. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it depends.
It's hard as fuck.
It depends. It is hard to get through it. That's why, again, having those short EPs makes it easier for people who are really busy and don't have that much time to sit down and listen to the music. So I understand. Not everyone's gonna have time to go through it.
I think in this day and age, it's better to do that anyway because everyone's flooding the internet with music. So your attention's so divided. Nobody's going to go through your 18-track album. You put out 6 tracks, they might take the time, but it's hard to compete now.
Especially when you're not like a huge artist, when you're not one of the top tier, one of the Kendrick Coles or Drakes.
Exactly.
When you put a long album and there is someone who's well known that's also put out an album, people can easily just go and listen to that guy instead of having to sit through a 18, 19, 20 song project that from an artist that they don't really know.
And that was the problem I had with Gucci, and even with the Rico album. I was just halfway through. I was like, I'm sick of this. I want to go listen to all these other albums that I get through. So they were competing for my attention, and I had to devote the time to it.
Yeah.
So if you're a casual listener, I'm not even surprised if nobody gives you the time of day.
I think it's very important for people to strike a balance between like the amount of tracks that you want to put into a project. It's really important if you want to make it super short and concise. But if you're going to put something long out, you better be sure that that whole thing is fire from top to bottom. So
agreed. And it showed, right? With a lot of these projects, we've been giving some pretty shitty ratings.
yeah. Moving on to H.L. He dropped the EP as well.
Exoticas.
Keith didn't listen, so we're gonna exclude him from this conversation. Kev, what are your thoughts?
Big fan of HL. I really loved his first project. Can't remember the name of it, but it's the one with Round Whippin'. And if you guys don't know that track, you're sleeping because that's one of his biggest hits.
It's called On Gas.
On Gas, yeah. And then there's something else. He keeps playing
Love
with
and
the word
Hennessy.
gas. Huh?
That song is fire too.
Yes.
From the previous album.
But HL is that modern blend of hip hop and R&B and
like Spanish.
And it's that Spanish influence too. And it shows more in this album than any other album that he's put out. De Hollow is really good.
The Hollow's a fire track.
It's fire. We put it as a sleeper earlier. I don't know if it's really much of a sleeper. He's so big now, but and then I like that he's doing more of that Spanish thing now, kind of touching on his Peruvian roots. And again, 6 tracks, very digestible, and each one I enjoyed. And it's definitely going to be a repeat for me. Production's good. He has dope melodies. I like his first album a little better, On Gas. I would say if that one's like a 4 or 4.5, this is 3.5 to 4. I would say 3.5 and a repeat for me.
So I agree with what Kevin said. I think one of the things I enjoyed a lot about him is his tone of voice. And I fuck with the way that he mixes the English and the Spanish. And like he does it really well. Production is crazy. And the melodies, like he's super fire with that as well. It's a repeat for me. But in terms of, yeah, I think, let me see. Just looking back at some of the other shit. 3 out of 5 on a repeat. I'm with Kev on that. I'm rolling.
Just a correction. I think his first project was actually Welcome to Ghazi.
Oh, that's
and
the
that
very
one I
first
like
one.
But On Ghazi is really good too. Those are probably close between 4, probably in the 4 range. This is a 3.5. Very close to 4 though. So definitely check this one out.
Moving on. Shout out to our man Locksmith.
Our man?
The Persian homie.
Me.
Wait, Dan, tell me, Sabur Bosh. What does that mean? Sabur Bosh.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
Hey man,
there's 2 songs on there that his dad is speaking Persian on. Right. So what he's saying is basically be patient and don't listen to what other people are saying and keep chasing your dreams. That's
Sabur?
what Sabur means be patient.
True. Okay, that's fire.
And then he just kept saying like be patient and keep chasing your dreams and it'll happen.
That's fire.
Because I don't know how Kevin and I stumbled upon Locksmith a long time ago.
It's through rap battles on YouTube.
Yeah. Bro, back when we were in university, we listened to Locksmith and we gave him credit. And we always thought that he was the Persian J. Cole because there was a lot of resemblance between him and J. Cole.
Yeah.
Like he was on that conscious vibe, lyrics and stuff like that. But I'm surprised he's not bigger than he is. I actually don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if it's the management, the business moves aren't where they're supposed to be, but he's super lyrical. And what I really enjoyed about this album was that he was telling his story. Something that Kevin mentioned earlier. It's not one of those generic rap stories. Coming from an immigrant family, moving to America, he talks about the struggles that he had to go through. He's half black, half Persian.
But he doesn't drop it in every other song.
Yeah, I know. And he drops the N-word a lot. So I don't know if that has something to do with why he's not as big as he should be. And if people have a problem with him saying it.
Why?
But that's not the point of the conversation here. Let's just go back to the project. What'd you guys think? I fuck with this a lot.
So the project's called Ali, by the way.
That's his name. His dad calls him Ali. I think that's his name.
Is Ali.
That's fine, but I'm saying the project name.
I know. Keith.
No, I liked it a lot. There was a few songs.
What are you saying no to?
What? Shut up. You always
No,
interrupt
I like
me when
this a lot.
Shut the fuck up, bro. You trying to interrupt me in my middle speech? Stop fucking with me like this. Alright? So, no, I like the album. New to this artist, more freestyle rapping, which I liked. I know Kevin mentioned when he was talking about Trump, and he mentioned Lil Pump too in prison.
He said Little Pump is like, I forgot what he said. He's like stealing from us, basically.
Yeah, he was saying something like that. But no, he mentioned Trump and Kanye, but you're still buying his album and stuff. Which, well, man, don't leave Kanye out of this, man.
No, what he said is facts,
Hey,
though.
man, Kanye's out here doing ollies. Let that man skateboard, okay? He's having a good time.
Yo, that skateboarding video, since you brought it up, I was wishing he was going to bust his ass and I was going to just laugh at him.
Yandi is safe, all right? Don't worry about him.
No, but what he's saying in regards to Kanye is true, though.
It's true.
So many people complain about Kanye, what he stands for, blah, 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 blah. But his album still did crazy numbers.
Who gives
they still buy
separate the artist from the personal aspect of it,
I guess.
So, but if you feel so strongly, then you should vote with your dollars, right?
Explain.
He's talking about how people buy the Yeezy still.
Yeah, what about that?
And I know it's kind of interesting that we talked about this earlier, but when we were saying that you ought to separate the person from the music or the art, if you're unable to do that, and if you take issue with the music or the person, then you shouldn't be consuming the music, right? Whether you should be forcing other people to not consume either is a different story, but you're still buying his album, then you have no right to complain, is all I have to say. You can be like, yeah, I disagree, but I still like the music. But there's some people who take it to that extreme.
Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from, but in regards to what he's saying, man, leave Kanye, you can have your opinion on him, but the man's still doing numbers. The man will still continue to this day do numbers. Watch the Throne 2 coming soon.
Yo, I'm excited for that. Hey. I don't care about who
No, but saying this again, this album was fire. I think the last song was my favorite.
On God, yeah.
On God, right? That's what it was. On God. On God. But no, that freestyle rapping, I loved it a lot. And the prison song was also good. Definitely, for me, if I had to rate it right now, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Super lyrical.
Very.
Yeah. And 15 songs, but the quality is definitely there, in my opinion.
I agree. It's 15 songs, but on average, each song is about 3 minutes tops. So it's 48 minutes. It's doable. It's a good length. I mean, from Locksmith, sorry, I almost said Logic. Wrong biracial person. But from Locksmith, this is nothing less than what I expected. He'll bar you to death. He's very intelligent, and he speaks on a lot of social issues and with a very balanced perspective, right? And he's very poignant points. Production wise, it's along the roots of these freestyle battlers and all these, very lyrical people. It's airing on the side of boom bap. Minimal features. He has Jaron Benton, Murs, and Vinny Paz, which they're all heavy hitters, and I think he did very well. Like The Emperor's Clothes featuring Vinny Paz I'm a big fan of both of them, and it's really hard to hang with Vinny if you're just looking at a lyrical perspective. So that was impressive. And as a project, it was very cohesive. He definitely had an overarching theme throughout the whole project. And he touched on a lot of social issues, right? It's very relevant given the times, especially from his perspective as both a black man and a Middle Eastern man, right? So he touches a lot on a lot of the Trump stuff, a lot of the racial tensions going on in the States, a lot of the other social issues that stem from that. And as a project, he brings it together very well. To touch on Dan's point on why he's not bigger than he is, I honestly think it's a shame, but there's no the market for this type of music, this well thought out lyrical miracle bars, is a lot smaller than it used to be. And it's very hard to be a J. Cole or a Kendrick, right? Because there's only enough room, only enough bandwidth for the audience to hear that much preaching. And if you're not executing the music part of that to the highest level,
that's what
then
I was
it's
just
hard.
gonna say.
And to that point, I feel like he could do without some of the singing. Like, he can kind of sing, but it's not strong.
No, it's not. You can easily replace the parts where he's singing with another artist, and it will definitely elevate that song to another level.
I don't even think the singing added anything. Some of the melodies weren't even that great.
No, he did it for like the hooks, the purposes of the hook. He did it, but all of his verses are fire. And again, I enjoy his story. So if you listen to the project, you'll hear his story, the struggles that he had to go through, the social injustices that Kev already touched upon. Hey. And the other thing in regards to like comparing him to Kendrick and Cole is the music. You're right. Like the songs, like Kendrick and Cole make good music, like good songs. It's not just about the lyrics, just about the bars. At the end of the day, like the quality of the music, the songs that you make matters a lot. So his is obviously not at their level.
But for any hardcore rap fan, this is thoroughly enjoyable. Even for the more casual listener, if you're tired of the more generic stuff, this is definitely refreshing. Especially if you haven't listened to that boom bap in a while. Now, in terms of, even though he didn't have commercial success, I will commend him. He does get recognition from his peers and a lot of respect from, these old school producers he's worked with. The name escapes me right now, but some of the producers he's worked with, they've been in the game a long time and they've worked with a lot of OGs and heavy hitters. So definitely check out the project. I would say 3.5 and a definite repeat for me.
I just realized when we first came across Locksmith, it was through his Sway freestyles when he used to come up and do the 5 Fingers of Death and do the Friday Fire Cypher or whatever that was. That's
if you haven't seen those, go back and check his ciphers on Sway.
That was back in the day too. He was killing shit. Yeah, if you're tired of this mumble motherfuckers out here, this project is probably the one that you should check out. 3.5 and a repeat. I'm with Kev.
A lot of music to get through.
Last one. Just do a quick review and then we'll move on to the other topics that we have. Someone that Kev recommended that we should listen to. They go by the name of Locals Only Sound. Kev told us to check it out. Keith, you've been quiet over there. Oh, you got the NA education?
They got the NA education. I didn't fucking listen to this one either.
Alright, Keith hasn't listened to it.
So one of the things that we're going to try to do here at Run It Back is bring up, because we've been reviewing a lot of mainstream albums, and I feel like it'd be good to start talking about some of these other smaller projects that deserve a little more attention.
Give
or
credit
maybe
where
not,
credit's due,
but at
man.
least we should talk about them, right?
Yeah.
So for a little background, Locals Only Sound, appropriately named since they're local in Toronto. 2 producers, one by the name of Curtis Smith and the other Greyhawken, or one of them is a singer. I'm a little unclear on that.
I think it's, you know what it is? Mm-hmm. So this is just, I'm cutting you off, but these guys reminded me a lot of Majid Jordan, the vibe that they had, and how do you say it? The way their group is put together is the same as those guys. There's one producer and one singer, I feel like.
Right.
Because the singer, it sounded like the same guy to me. I didn't feel like there were two different guys on there. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of Majid Jordan, and I do fuck with that type of music, so I enjoyed this album a lot.
And to that effect, we'll go right into it. It definitely has that Toronto down-tempo R&B sound, much like what Dan said with Majid Jordan. Production is really good, much like what you would expect from that type of sound. It's that Toronto sauce. in terms of the songwriting, I thought there was a lot of variation, a lot of interesting melodies. I would definitely say it's a 3 and a repeat. It's a great start for them. The album's called Opus 1. And if you're trying to support that Toronto sound, this is the way to do it. Locals only sound.
Quick, I enjoyed it a lot. Again, there was a lot of a variety, different types of vibes on there. And again, it just reminded me of Majid Jordan. I don't know why. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'd give it a... Did you say 3 and a repeat?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm rolling with you again. 3 and a repeat.
I
wanted to disagree with you just for the shits and giggles and wanting to play devil's advocate, but I can't. I gotta
it's
keep
a solid
it
project.
Yeah.
And to Dan's point about it sounding like Majid, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
I don't think we're at a point where that type of sound is super
popular, well known,
oversaturated.
No, it's not.
So there's space for more of this type of music, right?
For sure.
And so I'd say Art, their first track is really good, and then their second track, Talk, is one of their bigger tracks, and that's also pretty good. So definitely check them out. Support local acts.
So that's all the projects we got to review. I guess we can stay on the topic of music and the entertainment industry and get into some of the fuck shit or some of the shit that's been going on in the music industry. Meek Mill Funk Flex freestyle. Did you guys listen? If not, we can move on to the next topic.
Is there anything of note? I didn't listen, but you can give it a summary.
What was notable was that he went on the back-to-back beat, and he was saying how this is a beat that he's always fucked with ever since Drake dropped it, and he's always wanted his chance to go on it and say what he had to say.
He got Funk to apologize too, no?
I saw that, and I thought that was the funniest shit ever.
No, Funk told Meek, he said like, yo, because at first Funk thought that it was a fake beef squashing. He thought they just did it for the cameras, for the gram, whatever. But Meek is like, nah, ever since we got together, I've been talking to Drake almost every day, blah, 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 blah. So Funk is like, yo, if you tell me for real that your beef is over, then I'll apologize. And then he ended up doing it. Because Funk Flex was just beefing with Drake because he was taking Meek Mill's side. That was the whole thing. He was saying the whole issue was about the songwriting stuff.
I mean, Funk's an OG, but he's kind of washed.
I guess. I like what he's doing though. He's giving upcoming artists a chance to submit their music on his platform and giving them a chance to go up there and spit. So
salute to him for that. Then. Yeah, but he's a yes man still.
If you haven't checked the freestyle, it's like a 14-minute freestyle. Go check it out. Meek is spazzing on that back-to-back beat. Speaking of Meek, he said he was going to drop another mixtape before the year was over. So
he's got 3 weeks to do it. Just under.
I don't think he needs to do that.
He doesn't. That's what people are saying. He doesn't need to do it.
Don't do it. Not worth it.
Let your album breathe, bro.
Yeah, man. And there's 19 songs too. It's not like it's a short album, easy for people to just...
going back to it.
Yeah, I'm going back to it too. The last thing, Meek said that him and Nipsey should drop a tape together.
Did Nipsey have something on Grammy Award?
He might have. We're going to get into that. I think he might have been nominated for Album of the Year because people say that his album, Victory Lap, was one of the best albums that came out.
He did get a nomination, but we'll touch on that later.
So yeah, what I wanted to say about that topic was that if they do have a tape coming out, I'm looking forward to it because Nipsey is super fire, and even though I don't really see him and Meek working together, I'm excited to see how that tape would sound like.
They both have similar values in terms of that street values and understanding of how you move around people. So I can see there's a mutual respect, and I can see they could probably put out a pretty good project together. So
Maul from the Joe Budden podcast a few episodes ago, or a couple of episodes ago, he was saying how it's over for the Breakfast Club. That the Breakfast Club is not what it used to be. People don't really check for it as much as they used to be. And at the time he said this, I didn't really understand what he was saying, and I thought that it was a personal issue that him and Charlemagne were having at the time. But two of the most recent interviews that I watched was Meek Mill and Trey Songz on the Breakfast Club, and it was one of the only times that I saw them calling the Breakfast Club out on their bullshit. They're like, yo, You get people like us to come to your platform, but you guys just tend to focus on the negative stuff that us as artists go through, and you try to capitalize off of that other bullshit that you hear, right? And I think seeing big artists say that to them in front of them, which hasn't been done before, I kind of see what Ma was talking about now. Because otherwise, people go up there, they get to say whatever they want to say. Like, perfect example was Post Malone, right? When he first came up, he went up there, Charlamagne was bullying his man, right? He couldn't say anything. He had to just take it, right?
Yeah,
but now the
his girlfriend too.
Yeah,
about, like,
but I feel like now the artists know their value, and when they go up there, like, they're the reason that people go and check out that specific interview. Oh, Meek Mill on Breakfast Club? I have to go check it out, right? If Meek Mill wasn't on the Breakfast Club, then it wouldn't get the same attention. You know what I mean?
I don't know about what Maul said. I feel like there could still be some personal issues tainting his opinion on.
No, 100%.
About them focusing on the negatives.
It's something they've been doing.
What's new about that? That's
I know.
why I check for it.
I know.
It's because it's like you want to see how they react when they're put in uncomfortable situations, right? And that's what I look for and that's some of the greatest moments are when you get the artist to snap.
Yeah, Charlamagne's the best at that.
What's his name? Fucking Baby, right? And then
yeah, I know.
And who else? Fucking Kanye.
Fredo.
Yeah,
Fredo was a guy who wanted to punch him in the face.
They do some legitimate journalism, great questions, hard hitting stuff. And to be fair, when they talk about the negative stuff, they do give them the opportunity to clear their name or explain themselves. But Charlamagne's a personality. At the end of the day, he's gonna poke and prod at you and try and get a reaction, right? Because that's his job, and that's, I think, why a good chunk of people watch The Breakfast Club. So I think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I think they always been focusing on the negative, and it is part of their job. And you're right, Kev. It does tend to get the reaction that people want to see. But these two guys that I just named, it was just the first time that I seen people kind of call them out on their bullshit, and it was interesting to me because usually people just take it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's either they kind of just say whatever, they give the politically correct answer and move on from that question, or as you said, it gives them the platform to kind of clear out the air and say anything they have to say about that topic. So it was just interesting. And
at the end of the day, it's the media, right? And the good news doesn't sell. So it's no different from the newspaper or just TV news. Like, they're going to focus on the bad more than they are the good.
Yeah.
It's just ratings.
Whatever, moving on. So today I was surprised to see Ty Dolla $ign was facing 15 years for drug possession.
Cocaine?
Yeah, he was found with like a bunch of cocaine and weed and shit in Atlanta, I believe. So it's pretty fucked up. Kind of interested to see what goes on. Ty's super dope, so
he's not gonna get 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years is a lot.
This is white people taxing him. That's what it is. They want his legal fees, and they want to put him through this system and just remind him who he is. But at the same time, that's pretty shitty, man. Because I'm pretty sure he didn't have much weight on him. So 15 years seems a little bit excessive.
Yeah, he said misdemeanor possession of under 1 ounce of cannabis, felony possession of THC, and felony possession of cocaine. So
that's a pretty small charge.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think the amount was big, but 15 years is a lot. And I feel like the 15 years is because of like him and his status in the culture. Yeah,
and because he's black. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's true too. Something that Keith brought up already: Grammy nominations. So Kendrick led all the people with 8 Grammy nominations, and he didn't even drop an album this year.
Well deserved. Man's an artist, man. What are you gonna say?
You know what I think this
they
is?
Know they fucked up.
Exactly. That year they fucked up with giving Macklemore. Ever since that year, they've been trying to make it up to Kendrick. Ever since that year, he's been winning every single Grammy. He's been performing. He's been doing all kinds of shit.
Not to say he didn't deserve it, though.
No,
I
can't say
he puts out a really good body of work.
And Drake's right behind him with 7 nominations, so let's see what happens.
Drake didn't get rap album the year, but Daytona was nominated. Let's talk about that.
And Nipsey Hussle's on there for rap album.
Nipsey Hussle's on there too. Drake's Wait, he is.
He got rap. No, he got album
of the year, not
But-
rap album of the
But
year.
he's not a rap
Yeah,
album,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
I think you know why? Because Scorpion was half R&B,
Which
so
is fair.
I don't think it qualified as a rap album. I think that's why.
That's fair. But still, it still looks kind of funny,
I know.
right? But salute to Pusha for that, because that was a great project.
Yeah.
Yeah, good project. And he still has a few
Pusha
left.
and Nipsey, like Nipsey's album was super dope too. Something that it's a project that I always go back to and listen. So I'm curious to see who's gonna win. Offset and Cardi breaking up, whatever. We don't care about that.
Wait, just before we finish,
do we care about that?
No, I don't give a shit about this. Nobody gives
Do
a
we
shit
care about
this.
that?
But predictions for winners of the rap album of the year.
What are the,
Man.
who is everybody that's nominated? Nipsey, Wait, no, not Kendrick.
Yeah. You want to talk into my laptop or into the mic?
Hey man, shut the fuck up.
Let me,
Give me the rap
hold on.
albums.
I'll find it for you.
You want to hurry up on your laptop, buddy?
So hold on. While scrolling through this, best pop, best dance. So what I wanted to talk about in regards to Cardi and Offset is that the alleged side chick went on Instagram crying, saying, "Oh, it wasn't my intention to break up our family." That's what she said. Our family. So I just thought that was funny.
He thinks he's Lou Will, eh?
I was laughing when I heard that. I was like, yo, what is this girl doing? Best rap performance, best rap song, best rap album. We got Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, Mac Miller, Swimming, Victory Lap, Nipsey Hussle, Pusha T, Daytona, and Travis Scott, Astroworld.
I'm glad that Mac got that nom, because that's a really good album, too.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a good way to go out, I guess. Well, you know what I mean. That was just worded poorly.
It's like the Dark Knight, right?
I think it's going to be between Nipsey, Pusha, or Travis for best rap album.
The white man might win, though.
Hey,
And
I wouldn't
it's
be
been done
mad
before.
if Mac Miller got it.
The magic
No,
trick has been done
I wouldn't
before.
be mad at all if Mac Miller got
Yeah, I
it. That's
wouldn't be
like
mad
one
at
of his
all.
best albums.
Yeah, that's definitely. I feel
I
like
want Pusha to win it, though.
yeah, I low key want Pusha to win. I feel like Travis might win it.
I think I don't know. We've talked about this. Astroworld was just all right, and I think it's a bit overrated. They might win it because white people don't know the difference, but
To me, it'll be between Nipsey and Pusha, as I said. So we'll see.
All right, we'll see. Coming, when is it? February?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Okay.
Did you guys see Kevin Hart stepping down as hosting the Oscars?
Hey, who gives a fuck? Okay, what's next?
Kev, you saw that?
yeah. Well, I mean, it is problematic because they dug up a tweet from what, like 7, 8 years ago.
Everyone's
Yeah.
digging. Everyone's looking for some shit to like.
I
get some
know
of it.
what Kevin Hart was saying though. He was saying like, "Yo, you spent the time to go digging those tweets. You could have spent the same time looking for my apology because I addressed those tweets on multiple occasions, right?" And then he's like, "Why do I have to apologize for it again when I've already addressed it?" So I kind of know where he's coming from.
It's the climate we live in, right? And I think people are gonna feel they haven't learned from the Trump administration, like what the blowback of being too PC is, right?
Yep.
You're just gonna learn again.
Switching gears, let's talk NBA a little
I
bit.
like that transition Dan has whenever he's trying to switch
Switching
topics.
gears, bro.
Switching gears. What's next?
Yeah.
Yo, Swaggy P signs with Denver.
What do you guys think? Good pickup?
Good pickup. Hey,
Denver's playing well, and they needed someone to score off the
Yeah.
bench, so if Swaggy P still got it,
Swaggy P's happy as fuck right now.
I know, I seen
Big
him.
smiles. Big
Yeah,
smiles.
smiling ear to ear.
So, breaking news: the Lakers trying to get JR. No, not Lakers. Houston trying to get JR.
Ooh.
Houston trying to get JR.
Breaking news? This just came out?
Just came out. Breaking news. By the time you
Okay,
hear
Keith.
this, it's already news. But still, anyways,
That's not a bad pickup.
yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
If
Coming
they get
off the
Henny JR, though, I mean,
bench. Hey, Chris Paul. Hey, you got LAPD was present. They probably had to call the police when fucking.
they need
Chris Paul
shooters,
come
so
up to JR.
I see. Lakers trying to get Trevor Ariza in a 3-team trade.
Bring him home.
LeBron saying he wants to get Melo.
No, Lakers already said no.
They
that's
don't
not
want him,
happening.
right?
Not happening.
I've
No,
seen
thank
that.
you.
No thanks, we don't want him.
The curse. Send him to the LA Sparks, bro.
So something interesting I read was Did you guys see this? Giannis said that I can't work out with you in the summer and play you in a few months. It feels weird. And he was addressing the fact that he got offered to work out with KD, LeBron, and Melo in the summertime, and he took it and he refused it. What do you guys think of that?
He's coming at it at a competitive standpoint, which I can agree with. I don't want someone being able to analyze the way I play, especially if I'm as competitive as Giannis is, the Greek freak. Bro, let him do whatever he wants, and he's dominating the East. We saw it recently, even though Toronto's number one.
Yeah,
Milwaukee's 2-0 against us.
But don't you think he's kind of passing on a good learning opportunity for himself?
I don't think he needs to learn from those guys.
I think he did. Okay.
No, he doesn't need to learn anything from those guys. I think he's on his way to. He can learn from so many other people, and bro, the way he's playing right now, he's almost there.
I know.
Give him 1-2 more seasons. He's going to 1 or 2 more seasons, and like even Anthony Davis would be like the only one I think can compete with that.
Compete with him? Yeah. I think Anthony Davis is better, but that's a different conversation. Okay, this is what I gotta say. Working out with Melo, all right. Everybody should refuse that opportunity because you don't want to end up like Melo right now. But working out with LeBron, that's something I don't think you can pass up on. Like, LeBron's been in the league for so long. You've only been in the league for a few years, and this is definitely good learning opportunity. I agree with Kev because, bro, it's LeBron. Who wouldn't want to work out with LeBron? And it's not like LeBron is using that opportunity to learn your game and your moves and stuff like that. I feel like he just wanted to pass on his wisdom and teach him a few things.
No,
Same thing with KD. KD is amazing, right? But KD works out with LeBron almost every summer.
Yeah, but then those two are good friends anyways. Giannis, I don't think is like that great friends with those guys. So I can see why he said no. You know, he wants to keep, you know, with his staff, his organization, he wants to play his own game. He wants to work on whatever he needs to work on by himself. He doesn't need to go and learn from LeBron and find out the ways that he needs to improve his game. There's so many other good people he can learn from. And, you know, I can see where he's coming from. So I'm on Giannis' side. I can see where he's coming from.
Luka, is he rookie of the year so far?
He's definitely the rookie of the year so far. That game-winning 3.
He was clutch that game against Houston. I think Trae Young had a few good games, but Luka probably winning rookie of the year so far to me. Just to wrap up the episode, let's talk about movies and TV shows real quick. Keith recommended that Kevin and I check out Narcos Mexico and Mexico. I read that season 2 was confirmed, so they're coming back.
Bless.
So, yeah.
I wasn't surprised at all with the way they ended season 1. Just so well executed.
Yo,
right?
Don't say shit. I'm only on episode 3. Yo, I'm only on episode 3.
Listen, in a Netflix era, if you haven't finished binging it by the end of the first week, you're
Michael
too late.
Pena dies.
I watched,
but that's pretty obvious. If you guys don't know that by now, then you didn't watch the other Narcos series.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I couldn't stop watching, but I had to stop watching, and I'm just waiting for the opportunity to binge the rest of the season.
Is Drake talking about this Kiki though? But anyway, hey, Kiki.
I don't think he is.
But then that man dies. I don't know how they're gonna bring him back.
What do you mean? Why are you spoiling this shit?
Bro, they already brought it up.
They brought it up, and it's history.
It's history, brother. Go fucking look up your history.
I have to go watch the first season of Narcos to fucking find that out. You gotta watch the
first, 20 minutes of it. Okay, first, though, that's already...
Avengers Endgame trailer.
Kevin hasn't watched it.
That's okay, but you guys can talk about it. I just been trying to not watch it because I try not to.
Spoilers?
No, because if I'm really hyped for a movie, I don't want to see a single scene. I want to see it completely unencumbered. But if you guys want to talk about it, please go ahead.
Yo, I was on that wave before. I was against watching trailers because sometimes the trailers gave you the best scenes in the movie, and you go in the movie and you're like, yo, I've seen this. Especially with comedies, I felt like they put some of the funniest moments into the trailer, and you go watch the movie and you see it coming. And
this trailer had none of that.
But yo,
this trailer had none of that.
This trailer was super fire, Kev. And there was another video on YouTube of this guy breaking down the whole trailer, bunch of shit that people don't really pay attention to, and he broke it down. I was like, oh my god, this is deeper than I thought it was.
Not really. In regards to that, for me, I'm a big superhero guy myself.
Yeah, but for you, it's different. The average guy is not going to dissect that trailer that they watched. They're just going to take it for what it is. And
tell me what the guy said.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Tell what? That
I already
Spider-Man
told you
was
this.
In a small clip saying that he's missing. That shit is already pretty...
What do you mean? There's nothing about Spider-Man in the trailer.
There's a picture of him. Okay, so clearly you didn't watch the clip. Okay, so you're not analyzing
Professor
it.
Keith.
Hey, listen,
Let's
bro.
go.
But Iron Man is gonna survive. They're gonna figure out a way to save him. He's in space.
By going back in time.
Not by going back in time. Either Captain Marvel or Ant-Man is gonna save him. That's pretty obvious. Moving forward from that, pretty obvious. But no, they're all gonna come back, bro. Spider-Man. The next Spider-Man movie's coming out. Everyone's coming back. It's gonna be a happy ending. Everyone's gonna hug and cheer.
Is anyone gonna die?
They're gonna have
Thanos is probably gonna die.
Thanos. I don't know if Thanos is gonna die. Either way,
They were saying how Thanos is depressed. The guy breaking down the thing, he was saying how he's
Man, who gives
depressed
a fuck?
because he
Thanos-
put up his armor and he's like walking through the field with the flowers and shit. They're like, "Yo, Thanos is depressed."
Thanos is depressed. So what? Because he lost Gamora. Because he had to kill her in order to get that stone. But hey, it is what it is. He's gonna lose in the end of it all, and they're all gonna get together and have shawarma at the end. So it's gonna.
You don't think any of the Avengers are gonna get written
out
out?
of everything?
Yeah, shawarma. You didn't watch. You guess you didn't watch
Kumbaya?
Avengers.
They made a shawarma reference
You
again.
didn't see it, eh?
Which
So
Avengers?
shut the fuck up and let me talk. This is my time. You talk about the music. I'll talk about the superheroes. I bitch. That's my time. So what were you asking, Kev? Let me answer this question for you.
Shit, I forgot. That was really intimidating, man.
I just
right.
want to ask
The
you.
shawarma reference is what we were talking about.
Yeah, the end of Avengers 1, that's where they had a little shawarma scene.
Yeah.
Kind of awkward after destroying New York, which was kind of stupid. You destroyed half the city and killed probably
No, but you
hundreds of
said they
people.
brought it up again.
No, I'm just saying they're probably
Wow.
going to get together and have shawarma at the end. It's going to be a happy ending for sure.
But so back to my initial question then. Do you think all the Avengers are going to survive? What's your prediction?
I don't think all the Avengers
They're
are
going to write off somebody.
They're going to
right?
write off...
The small
'cause
ones
I
are
think
gonna die.
I think Shuri, that's Black Panther's sister, she's going to be the next Iron Man if you read the comic book series. She's the next Iron Man coming up, so I think Tony Stark is going to go either way. Captain America, that's 50-50 for me. I don't know what the hell Chris Evans is going to do. He has nothing else better to do. His movies, other than being Captain America, are doo-doo. But who else is there? Hulk? Hulk can go fuck off. I don't care about Hulk. They can't.
Hulk's not gonna die.
He's not going to die, but they can't make a solo movie with him. We've seen that happen. Incredible Hulk was a great movie, but people didn't love it. But who else is there? They're making a Black
Black
Widow.
Panther's not dying.
Black Widow movie's coming. Don't give a fuck. Black Panther, can't wait. He has to come back. I
He's
want to
not
see
dying, no
Chadwick
way.
Boseman. I want to see that again. But he's not one of the main Avengers. Thor is going to sort of stay.
Thor's gonna rap battle Thanos.
Thor's...
Palms ahead.
I
Yeah,
guess
Bob-
you've seen that, him in the hoodie. Hey, they let him do that. The Chris Evans is making Men in Black. With what the hell is happening, bro? Men in Black happening. I don't know. I'm not feeling that, but that's a side topic. But what else?
You
else?
spoke about the Spider-Man movie, and I read that Jake Gyllenhaal was gonna be Mysterio.
You put this in the docket. Who's Mysterio? If you won't
I'm
mind.
bringing it up for you to clarify because I
Mysterio-
don't know who Mysterio
I don't
is.
fucking know who Mysterio is. I don't give a fuck.
Is that
I
the
don't-
magician one?
Mys-
Or am I mixing up the guys?
Hold
The
up.
guy with the orb head?
I don't know, but Jake
Hold
Gyllenhaal
on.
showed up
I'm
to.
pulling
I think
it
it was
up.
Brazil. I'm not sure where
It
it
is
was.
the orb head.
Okay, I don't
It's
know.
this guy right here. Look,
Yeah.
this man.
I don't know who the fuck that is. Okay.
He was in the
Mysterio.
90s cartoon. I remember that shit.
Because I'm saying he can't be a small villain if Jake Gyllenhaal is gonna play him, right? So
He can be because he doesn't want to do a superhero thing for too long. He just wants to get in and out.
bored.
Jake Gyllenhaal is a really good A-list actor. I don't think he wants to be on a series like this.
I mean, Robert Downey was an A-lister.
No, he wasn't.
Well, now
When
is.
he entered Iron Man, he was an A-list for sure. When he started this now, he's an A-list now for continuing on. Before that, he was terrible. He was doing his old drugs and
Well, he had
he had his time. He had his Charlie Sheen moments, but no. His best movie for me, I think it was a Charlie Chaplin movie. I really liked that movie and him in it. I really enjoyed that. But
Yo, does he have a movie with that guy from Hangover?
Which guy?
The fat guy.
Zach Galifianakis, yeah, he does. He has
That
a
movie is pretty funny. I watched
yeah.
that.
Zach Galifianakis is one funny motherfucker.
Awkward
bro.
motherfucker, but he's
Yeah.
funny as hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, circling back to the Jake Gyllenhaal thing, Mysterio's is a pretty big role, so I think it'll be a one and done. But he's definitely not a small villain, not by any.
Because
stretch.
I was thinking who's gonna be the main villain in the next movie, right?
For what movie?
For the Spider-Man movie.
It's this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not like he's just a secondary villain in the movie. He's going to be the main villain in the movie.
Because obviously Michael Keaton is still there, right? He's Vulture, so I don't know how that's going to happen. Because I vaguely remember the end credit scene where he said he's not done with Peter Parker. So we'll see how that pans out in the second film.
I just want that Venom and Spider-Man crossover to happen as soon as possible, but we gotta wait a while for that.
We'll see. Sony owns both of them.
Yeah.
But Disney's playing around.
Last thing that had me confused was this Deadpool Christmas movie that's coming out.
We all know we're all gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
But I am a little confused by the movie.
No, y'all know what this is, right? It's just the same movie, right?
What do you mean it's the same movie?
It's the same movie. It's the same movie, but they just re-edited it.
Really?
It's the same as what? Deadpool
It's the
1,
same
2?
movie, Deadpool 2.
No, it's not, is it?
It's the same Deadpool 2, but it's just re-edited with PG-13 jokes. Y'all didn't catch that?
Nah. I thought it was a completely different movie.
No, it's not a completely different movie. It's the same movie.
Oh.
That's why they re-edited it. Just
that's
to
even more whack than I thought
I think it was cool. I think it's a cool concept because I know all the kids still watch the R-rated movie, but hey man, if the parents are really strict on you and they make a PG-13 one, hey, maybe the parents might be light on this one. So I think it's a cool concept. I honestly thought it was pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
it's a money grab, I think.
This might be a bootleg thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, who the hell is buying
You
DVDs?
spoke about this a few episodes ago, how like Deadpool needs that R rating, like the comedy and the type of movie that it needs the blood and needs the R-rated jokes and shit like that.
I feel like not even Deadpool needs that R rating. I feel like a lot of movies need that R rating, but studios aren't able to do that because obviously
execs are soft.
Execs are soft, and that doesn't bring in the money, right? Because they need the time slots in the theaters. They need to fill those seats, and if they can get a PG-13 rating, they can get those kids in, rather than having to bring their parents. So that's what it all comes down to. Deadpool is definitely an R-rated movie. Like something like the Joker that's coming out next year, I think. Ooh. Joaquin Phoenix is gonna kill that. I've been seeing scenes on
that poster
Instagram
that I seen.
The photos look good, man.
So
even
sick.
The set, even the little clips that you see here and there of people filming on the streets, fire. Cannot wait to see it. Hopefully that's from what I've seen, it looks like a PG-13 movie. But if it hits a R rating, I cannot wait to see what that happens.
I think they could still execute a PG-13.
They can still execute one with that. With what I've seen so far, but I don't know how that is going to pan out because the way that it works, Joker becomes a Red Hood steals stuff, and then eventually he comes into Batman's path, and the rest is history. So we'll see.
The last thing is that I can't wait to watch the Aquaman movie coming out
December 21st.
December 21st.
Khal Drogo doing his thing.
Khal Drogo is going to be on SNL doing Khal Drogo, I think. That's what he's doing. I think that's what he's doing. Or he did it already. But hey, man, Jason Momoa, also known as Steven Adams. That man is a beast. Can't wait to see what he does with James Wan. What's the name of the girl's name? That's Johnny Depp's ex. What's the name of that redhead chick? She's hot as fuck.
You're supposed to know these things.
I know, but her name is Mira in the movie. That's Aquaman's wife eventually. But no, it looks really good. The visuals are beautiful.
They're saying you should watch it in IMAX. Yeah.
Yep. That's a movie you have to watch in IMAX. I'm going to try to get these bitches to come with me to watch it in IMAX.
Definitely will.
Definitely will, bro. But yeah, this definitely watch Definitely. Yeah. All right. What else is there? Nothing?
That's it. That's all
right,
we
close
got.
it. Close this shit, Dan. Go take it.
All right. We end the podcast the same way. Each week, we pick 2 to 4 songs each of upcoming hip hop and R&B artists that we think you guys should be listening to. If you haven't followed our playlist yet, make sure you follow it on Apple Music and Spotify. Run it back, RVN space IT space BACK.
Yeah, so check us out on YouTube. We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. I also upload on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that little bell. That's what the YouTubers say nowadays. Hit the bell. Get notifications of when we upload on YouTube. Leave a comment and tell us what, any rappers you want us to listen to, anything you want us to cover. Just share us with people that might want to listen to us, and we can grow from there.
With that being said, till next week, peace.
Easy.